Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody, and welcome back on Isabel's talk show. I'm sure you missed us last week, but we are back with a special guest from Italy. Welcome, Anna Amoroso. I'm so happy to have you on board, Anna. And before we talk about a very important topic, which is freedom, I'm going to introduce Anna. So Anna was born and raised in Italy. She loves traveling, music, DIY, and obviously personal development. At the age of 17, she left her country to go to London to study, and she stayed there 10 years. She felt very independent, adventurous since a young age, even with a shy and introvert personality. She decided to become a change and empowerment coach because what she learned through personal development helped her to get unstuck and change her deeply and change the way she sees herself and the way she sees life. It gave her a total new empowering perspective about what we can accomplish in life and how much power we really possess, and that is also what she wishes for all her clients. Her specialty is helping women who finally decided that something must change in their lives, decided to listen to that internal voice telling them they deserve more, and women who want to feel joy and fulfillment again. She loves to guide and support them through their journey of clarity, self-discovery, change, and self-empowerment necessary to fulfill their dreams. So Anna, welcome. Welcome on Isabel's talk show. And I know that today you're going to give us some tips on how to break chains and be free. So talk about freedom. Anna, all yours. Welcome.
Hi, Isabel. Very nice to be here with you. Thank you so much for the invite.
Right.
So yes, today we're going to talk about freedom. And to me, freedom is a very important value, but I think to many people, it's very important, to feel free in their lives. The thing is that I think that sometimes we don't even know, but sometimes we are prisoners without being behind bars. So we put ourselves in our own prison without knowing it, maybe. And what I mean by that is that we can be prisoners in our lives by just not choosing about something that we know we need to do or is good for us, or we choose to stay stuck, or we choose to stay in a difficult situation that doesn't bring us happiness. So every time we are not choosing for our own well-being and for our own happiness, then to me that is being prisoners.
Yes,
definitely. And and it's very sad if you think about it, because you are in jail, but you're not in jail because you've done something wrong. You're in jail because you haven't done anything at all. Let's say it that way,
True.
And so it's even more sad than thinking about someone who is actually in prison. But luckily, there are ways in which we can break free from our own chains. And so we're going to talk about some of these steps to get out of this imaginary but real prison that we can bring ourselves to being. So the first step, very important step, as in many things, when we need to change something, we need to grow, is awareness. So becoming aware and conscious of what is not working out for us. So we really need to to put ourselves or to sit ourselves down and to really think about our life. So first of all, to work out, what is for me freedom? What is my meaning of being free? What does freedom mean to me? And examine if in what situations or where in your life you might not feel so free. So ask yourself, a few questions, and then go and change what you need to change to feel more free and to feel happier in your life. And that's to be done with journaling, in my opinion, not just thinking about it like that, but really going deep and writing things down and examining your life, because inside you do know, if you stop just a minute, you do know what is not good in your life, or what is not as you would like it to be. So after awareness, then there's another important step, which is to take responsibility. And this is really crucial, because if you don't take up responsibility for yourself and for your actions and for the situations in which you are, then you cannot do anything about it. I mean, you're not going to change anything if you don't if you don't take up responsibility for yourself. This can be hard sometimes, because sometimes you realize that you are in this mess, maybe, and you tend to give the blame to other people or to the situations. But if you really, really think about it, and if you go deep, and if you are really honest with yourself, you will see that you had different choices. But by choosing whatever you chose, you are now in this situation. So
I agree, Anna. I feel like we tend to blame other people or situations about what's happening to us, but we create our life. We create the situations we're in. Sometimes it's not even conscious, and sometimes we wish things, and sometimes, and there is a saying in English, is be careful what you're wishing for. So that's why sometimes we create situations. We always blame others or situations, external things, but actually no. Where we are now, it's because of what we've done or our thoughts. So yeah, I agree. We have to take responsibility and just say, well, I'm in that mess, that situation. I created it, and I can create another one. So I agree. Responsibility is a very difficult point, because we don't actually like to look at ourselves, right? It's always just like the others.
yeah.
But if we want to change, we have to have a look at what's going on first. So, and take responsibility. I agree.
Yeah, and it's also not easy, because you might feel ashamed, for maybe the mistakes you made. But what I want to say is that, don't feel ashamed, because you didn't know any better. You were just doing what you knew at the time. So, don't,
With information you
don't.
had at the time as well. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we go to the third step. That would be speak up for yourself, and don't say yes when you mean no. So, even intellectual freedom is so important, because you are important as a person. So your opinion counts, and you mustn't let anybody disrespect you, or mistreat you, or speak to you in a disrespectful way. So as we said before, you always know when something is right and when something is not right. So when you feel that something has been not fair to you, disrespectful or whatever, just speak up, just defend yourself, because you do count. So just make yourself being respected by others. And also another thing not to do is to always say yes to people. And I know that you might be doing it because you're a nice person and you're a generous person, but it's not written anywhere that you always had to say yes, especially when you don't want to. Just
Yes.
be true to yourself, to your heart, and just say no.
But some people tend to please others to avoid conflicts, for example, or just thinking, yeah, but if I don't say yes, they're not going to like me anymore. And I always say, well, is it worth being in a relationship where actually people abuse you? And because if they don't like you, they will disappear eventually, but you will attract people who like you. So and don't dishonor yourself to please somebody else,
Oh
because
yeah,
in a long run it's not going to work, right? So and
absolutely, absolutely.
if you say no, that person might say, oh, okay, let's find another, I don't know, another idea or compromise, right? They might just turn around and they say, oh, well, you're right, actually, we know that you've got a better idea than mine, so speak up, as you said, right? And give your opinion and stop pleasing people. That's sure, that's for sure. Hmm.
Right. Yeah. And if they don't, bye bye.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. But not everybody can do it, and I know it's hard. And saying the first time no is difficult, and then the second
Oh
time
yeah.
would be easier and easier again. So,
Oh yeah. 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 Yes, absolutely. It takes training, like everything in life.
exactly. And changing the way of thinking and thinking, no, I don't want to do that. I'm thinking about myself. What is good for me?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And the more you do it, the more you will become stronger and acquire self-respect and self-love. So
Exactly.
yes. Okay, so the other step would be to set boundaries, and boundaries are also very important in our lives. So there are, well, in my opinion, anyway, let's say that there are three types of boundaries.
Hmm.
And we have the physical boundary, which is obviously your physical space. So you decide who can come close to you, who can touch you. So it has got physical boundaries is anything to do with your body,
Yeah, and your space as well. I mean,
in
yeah.
your space. Exactly, exactly. And then we have the resources boundaries, which I think, well, I speak from my experience. Maybe is the one that uh, we don't realize much that there is such a boundary, or maybe we don't even think about it. But it's very important, and is about giving your time or energy to people. Because we think, time is free, so it's very easy to give it away. But the time, your time is important for you, first of all. Second, it doesn't not come back, so you need to be careful to where you spend your time and to who you gift your time to.
True. That's true. You can never replace time. So make sure that you actually give your time to the right person, or the person who will appreciate that you are giving them time. And and making sure that you give yourself time as well over the others. Again, not pleasing people, that's my time. So
yeah, absolutely. Again, not pleasing people, because it's very easy. And to me, I think maybe for women even more, because we just the way we were brought up, you need to be nice, and you need to be of service, of help to others, and yeah. So we probably don't even think about it, we just do it. But then we take it out of our own time.
And the energy as well. You were saying sometimes you spend time with somebody, and at the end of the day you're so tired because they suck your energy out. So I call them vampires, and that's something as well to take into consideration, and maybe put a bit of distance with that person, or not seeing her or them, sorry, all the time, maybe once a month, or just protecting ourselves. And it's not being selfish, it's just being that self-love, as you were saying.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, don't think that you're selfish.
No.
No. Okay, and then we have the emotional and the mental boundaries, which are also very, very important. And these are about our feelings, our thoughts, our needs. So don't let anybody make jokes of your feelings, or of your thoughts, of your needs. Make them respect you in that way, and yeah, you need to really listen to yourself. And you usually, once again, our body knows very well if it's something that we want to do or we don't want to do. So for example, if you let's make an example that you have a colleague at work, and this colleague really loves gossip, about people, but you're not at all that type of person. You don't really like to gossip about other people behind their backs and whatever. And you see this colleague coming towards you, you already know that, oh no, gosh, now she's gonna be, gossiping about other people, and I don't like that. I feel really awkward and whatever. So you already know, So you just need to tell her, quite clearly, and say, look,
speak up for yourself.
I like you, but yeah, I like you, but that's not my kind of entertainment. I don't like to speak behind people's back. So if you want, we can go out together to lunch, but we just talk about ourselves, our stuff, whatever. Or otherwise, you just you start. How do you say?
You just disappear, and you disappear and go for a coffee. Just I'm sorry, I'll go for a coffee.
Exactly. You start avoiding her, whatever.
Exactly.
But yeah, like in everything, I think, even if we maybe don't want to face it, or we don't want to see it in that moment, or we don't want to talk about it, but I think deep down we know really what we need to do.
The intuition will tell us, and we have to, and the intuition will generate a feeling in our body, and we have to listen, really. So we feel the energy of others, that's for sure.
Yeah, you feel that.
Because sometimes we don't listen, and that's where we go wrong.
Yes, it's true. But the thing is that if you don't listen, then this thing is not going to disappear anyway. It's going to get bigger, and it's going to come back to you sooner or later.
Exactly. And sometimes even worse, right? So it's going to make it a bigger situation. So
yeah, absolutely. So Okay, so we come to our last 2 or 3 points, which are, this one is really big as well. And just to think about it is like, no, please don't do this. Don't let other people's judgments stop you. Don't let the fear, of what other people are going to say or think about you when you need to do whatever, or when you want to do whatever. Don't let anybody stop you, just because you are aware of what they're going to say, what they're going to think. It doesn't matter, because it's your life. Only you know what is best for you. You are the one who is living your life, and you're the one who's got the right to decide for your life. And so if you think about it, when you're like arrive at 90 years old or 100 years old or whatever, and you look back and, just imagine, just thinking that you didn't do what you wanted to do because of someone else is so sad.
I know that's what my dad used to say. My dad used to say, I don't want to have any regrets in my life. So I'm following my heart. I've got objectives and no regrets. So I understand.
Yeah, we only have one life, so
Exactly. So live it fully. So that's for sure.
live it fully. Absolutely. And then obviously decide to change what is not good for you. You have to take that decision and just change and think about that. Okay, it might be scary because it's the way we are wired. We are wired to be scared of what we don't know. But I can tell you from my experience and from many people's experience that behind that fear, there is always growth and happiness.
That's true.
So just change what.
Step by step. As we were saying, the first step is the more difficult one, and then the second one will be easier, and then it will become natural. And just think, okay, people think that about me or what I'm doing. Who cares? Because I want to please myself. So, and I want to be happy. So, yeah, definitely decide to change is making the decision for the unknown. But that's when the magic starts. Opportunities, new opportunities.
Yeah,
New
exactly.
people around, new positive people. I mean, well, I like making decisions.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you said, little by little, eventually you get used to it a little bit more and a little bit more, and you will be able to move forward and to grow and to grow and to grow and to be more courageous and more courageous. Your courage will grow. So, but if you don't start, you will always be stuck there, and
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
that's not nice.
No, 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 it's not a nice space to be. Sometimes we decide not to move forward, but it will eventually come back and you will get stuck even longer, and suffer longer. So sometimes it's better to face it.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the last thing I want to say is that just remember that the power is within us, and that's the only thing that we can really control is ourselves, and everything starts with ourselves. Don't look for anything outside of you, because the power is within you. You can only start from you, and then all the rest will change. But you start from yourself.
I totally agree. So thank you, Anna. Just to wrap it up, awareness, responsibility, speak up for yourself, set boundaries, don't be afraid of judgment, decide to change, and action, right, to change.
Yeah.
So now, Anna, I would like you to speak about your experience lately. What happened? What you decided to be free? So tell us.
Okay, so you're referring to my hair.
Yes, well, yeah, because we can see the difference between the flyer and you today. So tell us what happened.
Right, yeah. So what happened was that um, I just wanted to not being a slave of the of dyeing my hair every like month or 2 weeks, because my hair grows really fast, and like I've been dyeing my hair for the last 30 years, and I was so fed up with it. um but you always think, you might think like, oh my god, then what is people going to think about me? And because in society you have some standards, and if you decide to appear with your own natural hair, like gray hair or whatever, then you might look older than what you are, or your family might not agree with you. And usually, actually, my experience, family, like my daughter, my dad, they weren't very supportive when they saw me. It's not like, oh, good, mom, I'm so proud of you. You're so free and independent, and you don't care about what people say. No, they were quite shocked. And my father said to me, well, aren't you gonna dye your hair again? No, I'm not gonna dye my hair again. I've done it because I'm fed up with it. So now I'm free, and I am happy that I decided that, because I really feel free, and I'm kind of like getting used to it, and I like it actually. And plus, I'm not slave of buying that thing every single month, and applying it on my head, which was like getting also itchy, and I just didn't like it anymore. And let's say I decided I want to be free of this thing, this slavery thing of dyeing my hair. And so that's why I did it.
Well, when I saw you the first time, I was just like, what happened? So many things went through my mind. And when you told me about the reason why you'd done it, I was just like, oh my God, I really am proud of you. And I told you actually. And I'm just like, yeah, good for you. And I was really, really proud. And I just thought, oh my God, she's got guts. So she's free, right? Free of being, like, as you said, the slave. And free as well in a way that I accept myself the way I am. I don't care what people think. If they're not supportive, that's their problem. And I was just like, good for you, right? You broke those chains, really. So that was
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. So, well, Anna, anything you would like to add about freedom or about your experience?
Just be free of being yourself, and do what you want and what you feel. Just think about yourself.
Right, and I totally agree. And the power is within. So if you want to change, if you want to get unstuck and be free, you're the only one who can change and change it.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much, Anna. That was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. So next week, my guest will be Tandeka Sibia, and she's from South Africa. And after freedom, we're going to talk about greatness. So unlock your greatness. That's the topic for next week. If you've missed the previous talk shows, well, you can go back to my YouTube channel, Phoenix Coaching and Training, subscribe, and so you will get all the notifications when the new talk shows are uploaded. So thank you again, Anna, and welcome
Thank you, Isabel.
anytime. You are welcome anytime on the talk show. I hope to see you again.
Thank you.
And so see you next week. And so good afternoon, good morning for some, and good evening for the others. Bye.
Bye.